Good morning. On Tuesday, the 9th of June 2020, I was looking at a video just now that had been sent to me by a friend or a colleague of Roger's, actually, about acceptance. And it was a nice. A nice video and very clearly put, but quite long to put on here. And then into my mind popped that old saying. I'm not sure exactly when it was written, but you'll all know it. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to accept the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Very wise words, and we've seen, haven't we, in the last week, a lot of conflict, understandable anger, and a lot of demonstration and so on as a result, and many people have been hurt. And that anger, that appalling sense that you've witnessed something that you find totally unacceptable, and then that kind of almost knee-jerk reaction. I've got to do something about this. I've got to shout about it. And we've all done that, haven't we? We've all been there and we've all done that. And sometimes it makes us feel much better. And sometimes we end up thinking, I wonder if that was the right thing to do after we've stepped back and thought about it. And I make no comment at all on what's right or wrong in this situation. I suppose I then went to back to my book again, and I opened it at this one, and it says, "What do you think is the biggest waste of time? Comparing yourself to others," said the mole. And so amongst all of these thoughts and ramblings, I suppose what I'm coming down to is whether we accept ourselves and our response to whatever's happening and actually embrace it. Because sometimes we do say and do stuff that we later regret. And sometimes we don't say or do something and we live to regret that too, for whatever reason. But that acceptance of ourselves as we are and where we are, and that permission to step back and think, can I change this? If I can't, can I somehow step back from it? Can I actually accept it? That doesn't mean necessarily agreeing with it, but can I accept the state of play? I mean, we could all currently, couldn't we, sit in our homes getting ourselves worked up about the fact that we can't go to, I don't know, the beach, for example, because it's further than the distance that we're currently allowed to go. But who gains from us getting ourselves worked up about it? In fact, nobody gains, because we probably end up feeling pretty awful because we've put our blood pressure up, or we've become irritated, and then we feel dissatisfied. And I suppose there's that sense in which acceptance of ourselves and acceptance of the way we are responding in a given situation is central to our well-being, is central to our being able to, as this says, step back and have the wisdom to oversee and know where we can and can't realistically change things in our particular arena for the better. Acceptance of ourselves, acceptance of our situation, and remember in all things that we are accepted by God, that we are accepted, that we are loved just as we are, that we are understood just as we are. So can we embrace that amazing thought this morning? Can we do the best we can in our humanness to accept where we find ourselves currently? And maybe step back and say, do I want to change any of this? And if so, is that realistic? May I be able to do that? And if I can't, God, grant me the serenity to accept where I am. God bless now. Until tomorrow.